The non-aligned movement was created and founded at the height of the Cold War, during the collapse of the colonial system and the independent struggles of the peoples of Asia, Africa, and other regions of the world. Its membership has continuously grown from 25 at establishment to nearly 120 countries, representing almost two-thirds of the United Nations members and over half of the world's population. The primary objectives of the movement had been focused, among others, on the support for self-determination, national independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity of states, opposition to apartheid, non-adherence to multilateral military pacts, struggles against imperialism, colonialism, neocolonialism, racism, foreign occupation and domination, disarmament, non-interference in internal affairs of states, peaceful coexistence among states, rejection of the use or threat of use of force in international relations, strengthening of the UN, democratization of international relations, socio-economic development, and international cooperation on an equal footing. A significant milestone predating the establishment of the non-aligned movement was the 1955 Bandung Conference, a conference of Asian and African states hosted by the Indonesian President Sukarno, who gave a significant contribution to promote this movement and where its underlying principles, the Dasa Sila Bandung, or the 10 Principles of Bandung, were introduced.
Of Indonesia and other present in different parts of East Africa knew.
The attending nations declared their desire not to become involved in the Cold War and adopted a declaration on promotion of world peace and cooperation. 6 years after Bandung, the first conference of heads of state or government of non-aligned countries was held in September 1961 in Belgrade, where this movement was finally founded. The founding fathers of the non-aligned movement were Sukarno of Indonesia, Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Josef Broz Tito of Yugoslavia, Gamal Abdul Naser of Egypt, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, consisting of many governments with vastly different ideologies. The non-aligned movement is unified by its commitment to world peace and security. At the 7th Summit, held in New Delhi in March 1983, the movement described itself as history's biggest peace movement. The principles and objectives of non-alignment have retained their full validity and force at the present international juncture. The demise of one of the blocs has not done away with the pressing problems of the world. This movement has continued to be a source of solidarity, moral force, and a strong political force at the United Nations and other multinational fora. The world in the first decade of the 21st century saw continuing armed conflicts in many parts of the world, the rise of non-traditional security threats, threats of terrorism and radicalism, dangers of nuclear weapons, challenges of climate change and environmental degradation, global financial and economic crises, impending food and energy crises, increasing frequencies and magnitude of natural disasters, and more recently, the wave of social change and transformation. These challenges are complex, global, and thus require multilateral efforts and solutions. The question for now is whether it can transform these challenges into a positive force, contributing to the prosperity and empowerment of developing countries. As we celebrate our 50th anniversary here in Bali, Indonesia, where do we envision the movement to head? Will there be a role for the movement in the next 50 years? If so, what is the vision for the movement for the next 50 years? What would be the movement's role in providing solutions to these global problems? How can the movement and its diversified membership exploit its potential to be able to play a constructive role in global governance for the next 5 decades, while upholding its shared values and safeguarding and defending the interest of its people?